Hello everybody and welcome back to this tutorial, and right now let us continue with using our man-in-the-middle framework tool. So what we did in the previous video is we simply just performed the actual ARP spoof. We didn't really perform any type of the attack. I just want to show you how you can simply just perform the most simple attack using this tool. So we used the -spoof and -arp command in order to do that, and you remember that we were able to see which websites does our target PC visit. Okay, and right now we're going to perform the same thing, just we're going to add some additional things to this attack in order to, for example, sniff some passwords or capture screenshots and so on and so on. So first of all, let me just go to my desktop, and if I just type ls here is my MITMF. Once you type ls in your MITMF directory, you will regularly have this file, which we can run simply just by typing python and then mitmf.py, and we want to simply print out the help menu, so we will add --help. And here are once again all of the available options for our attack. And right now, there are a few options that we're going to cover. So first of all, we're going to perform the same option by specifying our interface, specifying the gateway, specifying everything simply as in the previous video, but we're also going to add some of the additional options. So first of all, let us see how we can actually capture a screenshot on the target PC or on the target browser. We can simply just use this --screen option. It doesn't work every time a target visits a website. It will only possibly work on an HTTP website, as it says right here, uses HTML5 canvas to render an accurate screenshot of a client's browser. So we will see if that will work. Now, some of these options do not work, or some of these options work occasionally. So if it doesn't work, don't worry. You can try it some other time and it will possibly work. So right now, let us type the regular things. Let's add the -I believe, -I for the interface. We want to use ETH0. Then let's go for the next thing that we need to specify. I believe it is the gateway. So it is --gateway, and then we'll specify the gateway's IP. So --gateway 192.168.1.1. We want to perform the spoof. So --spoof. We want to perform the ARP. Let me just enlarge this so you can see it a little bit better. So --spoof, --arp, and we also want to add --screen. And let's say we want to perform the screenshot at every 20 seconds. Or let's actually add 10 seconds so we can perform it faster. And in order to do that, you simply just type --interval and then 10 seconds. Once you perform all of this, press here enter right here. It will start our attack, and now let us see it loaded all the necessary plugins. Now let's, from our Windows 10 machine, visit some website. So right here we can see already that the Windows 10 is visiting something, and let's go to some random website and see whether we can actually capture the screenshot on that specific website. We can see right here, we already managed to actually see what the target actual browser is visiting, so we can see the website link right here. We can also see that the screenshotter injected GS payload, so I believe we actually managed to capture screenshot, as we can see right here, save screenshots to 192.168.1.6. So it did manage to save screenshots. Now we can actually close this right now. Close this attack, restoring with 2 packets, and let me just see the logs. And here are the actual screenshots that we managed to actually capture. So let us see whether they are accurate. If we go to the files, we go to the desktop where our IMTMF directory is located. We click on there. We go to the logs, and there is where the screenshots will be captured. And these are the first ones. So if we open some later screenshots right here, we can see that it did manage to take a screenshot of that specific website. It just didn't load this right here when it took this screenshot, but it did manage to get all of the other things, as you can see right here. So our screenshot options works correctly. We managed to actually capture the screenshot from target's browser. Now let us see whether we can actually perform some different type of the attack as well. So I will close this. And before we do anything, sometimes, as I said in the previous video, the connection can be, or the internet connection can be offline after you perform this attack, because it didn't manage to successfully restore the ARP packets in order to provide to the router and to the target that the actual router is at that specific MAC address. So in order to see if you're online, we can simply just ping some website or ping your router or ping anything you want, and if we retrieve the ICMP packets, we should be good to go. Now what I'm also going to do is I'm going to try to ping google.com from my Windows 10 machine. As we can see, ping request could not find host google.com. Please check the name and try again. So in this case, what you need to do is either wait some time, or you can actually restart your router. And here I finished restarting my router, so let me check once again whether I can ping my router. So pinging router works, and the command prompt, let us see right here, pinging google.com also works. So we managed to retrieve the packets. That means that we are online and ready to go. Now another thing I want to show you in this video is how you can actually do something interesting, such as, for example, let me just run the menu, --help. What you can do is you can simply just perform the captive portal redirection onto your Apache 2 web server, for example. So you have this captive portal right here. As it says, it has a few options right here that you can specify, and we will specify them in just a second. And what this allows us to do is, for example, we can redirect target's actual request for a specific website to our own fake page. First of all, if I go to my Apache 2 folder, which is this one right here, so /var/www/html, go there, type here ls, and you should have these regular two files right there, index.html and index.nginx-debian.html. Right now what we are going to do is we're going to simply just go and clone a page, any page we actually want, and we are going to host it on our Apache 2 web server. And you're going to see how easy it is to actually do that. It is nothing really hard to perform. So just open up your Firefox, and what we're going to do is we're going to navigate, for example, to, let's say, facebook.com. It doesn't really matter. It can be any page you want to host for any specific attack you want to perform. And right now what we're going to do is we're going to go save page as, and once you go there, you want to save it in your downloads or wherever you want to save them, and click here on save. What it will do is it will download the actual page, and you will have all the files, including the actual pictures, the actual code required to actually host the same identical page as this one. Okay, so right now what we're going to do is we're going to close this, and now we're going to delete these two files from the actual /var/www/html folder, delete them with the rm command, and now navigate to the root and then downloads. Once you type ls in the root downloads, you should have these two files, which are the files that actually belong to the Facebook page, or you will have some different files if you actually clone the different page. And all you want to do is actually copy these two files to the /var/www/html directory. So right now type here copy facebook.html to the var www/html. Now we want to copy the Facebook, which is the second file, and we want to perform the underscore, because right here you can see that the difference between the name of these two files is right here. It continues with a dot and then HTML, and right here it goes underscore and then files. So once you actually type all of this, or you can simply rename them. One more advice I would have for you is to, for example, once you type CP and then FAC, you can simply just tab and it will autocomplete the actual name of the file for you. Just it will autocomplete it up to here, because from here there are two different files that are with different names. So you will need to add underscore, and then you can tab once again and it will autocomplete this directory right here. So what we want to do is we want to copy that directory to the var www/html, and then remember to add -r because we're actually copying a directory. And now we have one directory and the HTML file copy to the Apache 2 web server directory. So let's navigate to the var www/html, and right here, all we need to do right now is rename the HTML file. Now, the reason we are doing that is because, let's say, for example, you open up your Firefox, and before we actually try to visit our web server, let us actually start the Apache 2. So service Apache 2 start, press here enter. It will start up the actual Apache 2 web server. And now, if you visit the IP address of our Kali Linux, which we can check using ifconfig command, let me just see right here, it is 192.168.1.8. Let us copy it, go right here, and simply just paste and go to that IP address. You'll see it doesn't really load the page, it loads the index of this page with the option to actually download these two files. But we don't really want that. We don't want to redirect them to a page that looks like this. We want to redirect them to a page that looks like a Facebook page. So right here, in order to do that, in this actual folder, in this HTML folder, we need to rename the HTML file, whatever the name of that file is. We need to rename it using the mv command. We need to rename it to the index.html. Now, the reason why we are renaming that file to the index.html is because Apache 2 recognizes this name, and therefore it knows that this is the main HTML file and that it should host this page as the actual page on that specific website. And right now you will notice, once we actually refresh this page, it will look exactly like the Facebook page or the original Facebook page that we visited earlier. The only difference is that right here it will not say facebook.com, it will say your IP address. Okay, so right now, now that we have the actual Apache 2 web server started, and now that we have the actual fake page hosted on our web server, which is the fake Facebook page in my case, we can run the captive portal attack with the redirection of all of the users on the local area network. So let me just navigate back to my root and then desktop environment, and then to the imtmf folder. Right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run once again the help menu, so I can simply see what are the available options for that specific attack. So we already remember the default options, which is Python imtmf.py -i for the interface, eth0 dash or 2 dashes, and then gateway 192.168.1.1. Then what we want to perform is spoof, and then ARP, and then what we want to perform is captive. I believe this is the actual option. Yeah, it is. So we want to load plugin captive portal, and now we need to specify the portal URL, which is going to be the actual IP address of our own Kali Linux machine, because we are hosting a fake page on our own web server. So right here we will simply just add the option -- portal URL. Right here we need to add the IP address of our Kali Linux. In my case this is 192.168.1.8, and once you perform that, you can simply just click here enter, and this will start the attack once again. And now we can see whether we actually do get redirected to the desired page. Once again, let me just zoom this in. The only thing that we changed is this HTTP 2 dots and then 2 slashes at the beginning of the link, because it seemed to not be able to recognize the actual link without specifying this right here. So let's run the command once again. Yeah, we actually need to be in the correct directory to actually run this. So right now, let's run the attack and let's see whether we successfully get redirected to our fake page once we try to visit some website. Now keep in mind that the actual website that you're going to visit has to be the HTTP website. If it is HTTPS, it will not be able to actually perform the redirection. So right here, let us go and type the actual website link, navigate through here, and we can see that we successfully got redirected to the desired website. So once again, if I navigate one directory back, you can see that this has nothing to do with our fake page, but as soon as you click it, you will get redirected to the fake Facebook page that we are hosting on our Apache 2 web server. And now, for example, let me just see right here, if someone types something, you can see that it will also be written right here It will also work on the fake page or on any HTTP page that you actually try to input username and passwords. For example, let's say I want to log into my router. I open this page right here. Yeah, well, it will present us a problem because it actually does get redirected to the fake page. Let me see if I add a bunch of A's right here and a bunch of A's right here. Do we actually find it? Let's try to find the username and password right here. I'm pretty sure it is somewhere around here. But I will show you in an actual better way to capture passwords without using the captive portal in the next tutorial. So for now on, all we wanted to see is whether do we get redirected once we visit some website, whether do we get redirected to our fake page. And as we saw, we do get redirected, so that is something that performed correctly. And in the next video, we're going to see how we can actually capture usernames and passwords from the HTTP pages. So, hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope I will see you in the next one. Bye!